Hi friends, Allison dropping in again to share another scrapbook layout with you today. This is another 12 by 12 Cricut die cut scrapbook layout, but this time I wanted to do some mixed media using some new to me, close to my heart products. I wanted to do some watercoloring in the background, so I am using Close to My Heart Bluebird re-inker, mixing a little bit of that with water to create my watercolor background using the packaging technique. I did take my heat gun to the paper afterwards to help speed up the drying process, and then I started adding the blue splatter also with the Bluebird re-inker as well. I just use a small paintbrush to do that. I really like this color. I was surprised to see how deep and rich it is, and also learned when I was doing the watercoloring background that a little bit goes a long ways because it's such an intense color. So if I do this again, I probably won't use as much re-inker as I did this time. Now, when I got to the Hottie Swap Color Shine and I was shaking it to mix up the color, it kind of exploded and wound up all over the page. I hadn't really wanted it quite as spread out on the page as it was. I mostly just wanted it centered around the blue watercoloring, but as things worked out, that's not how it went. And actually, in the end, I'm fine with it. It adds a little bit more color in places that I hadn't originally intended on having color, and it looks really good. I'm happy with it. So it was a happy accident. Not all accidents are bad ones. Sometimes they do end up working out in your favor. So happy ending, yay! I thought I had footage of this mermaid coloring her in. I don't know what happened to it. It either didn't get transferred or I'm not sure what happened to it anyways. But I did color the mermaid in with Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. I worked on a little bit of shading, and I tried doing something different with her hair this time just to give it a little more depth. I added some other colors that were not in the Tri-Blend marker. I used the True Blue as a base for her hair, and then I added, I think, some tan in there and a little bit of purple just to kind of give her some like highlights and lowlights. I'm quite happy with the end result. I think it looks good. I still have a lot more practice in my future to get better at it, but for a first attempt, I'm quite happy with it. I'm just going to add my white cardstock base to a Bluebird 12 by 12 base. I trimmed down the white cardstock just a little bit so that I could have a border around it. I thought it would help kind of complete the layout as well. I had some trouble with the title with this layout as well. There were troubles at every corner, it seemed like, with this one, which was fine. It keeps me on my toes. I was happy with the yellow and tan lines in the title, but when I put the blue on top of the blue watercoloring, I felt like it blended in too much. It was really hard to see and distinguish the difference between the two. Even looking at it in real life, it was hard to distinguish the two. So I left it on the layout for a while and added some of the other elements like the sun and what have you, just kind of mulling it over, trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And in the end, I decided to go back to my Cricut and cut that portion of the title again, but this time from a dark green New England Ivy cardstock, which is also close to my heart as well. And I think it looks a lot better. It's easier to see now. Even though looking at it on the screen, it does look like it blends in real life, it's a lot easier to see. I decided to dumpster dive again in my stash and pull out some Pinkfresh Studio ephemera that I had left over. I found this kind of a green colored little tab and the cute little circle, and I added a Tim Holtz phrase sticker to the embellishment cluster as well. And I'm also going to add a couple other Tim Holtz phrase stickers to the top left hand of the layout where the sun is. Right now you can see I've got it kind of placed over the sun. I debated that for a little bit, and in the end I decided to place 2 different phrase stickers next to the sun at the top of the scallop die cut. I used that die cut because I figured it would really highlight the scales in the mermaid's tail really well and kind of tie the whole story together. So that's where that came from. I hummed and hawed over whether or not I should cut the scallop overlay from colored paper as well, but I decided to stick with white, and then that's where the mixed media actually came from, because I wanted some more color in the background. And I decided what better way to do that than to use some new products and try them out. So there's the 2 phrase stickers from Tim Holtz. I just used my Tombow Mono liquid glue to adhere them to the layout. I kind of found they were slipping around a little bit on the gessoed background. So to ensure that they stayed on the page, I just used some liquid glue to stick them on, and that way they won't fall off. I added the date just below the picture next to the little Pinkfresh Studio ephemera piece. And I did add the tittle on the eye, but by the time I came back upstairs to take pictures of my finished layout, it had disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. It fell off anyways. I don't know where it went, so it's gone. Vamuska. I felt like this layout wasn't totally done. I probably should have left it here because I really liked it, but I wanted to add a little bit of journaling. So I do add 1 line of journaling at the top of the layout, right where I'm adding it right now. And then I add 2 lines, below it, just to finish it off. And it kind of helps tell the story just a little bit more. There wasn't a whole lot to the story, just that we like to basically live at Rotary Park here in town over the summer when it's hot. We hit up the water slides. We usually hit 7-Eleven for a slushie on our way home and just make a good afternoon of our summer days. With that, my friends, this layout is complete. I do have close-ups and still shots for you as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you drop by, also say hi. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I will be back again soon with more inspiration for you. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. I appreciate you all. Bye.